Let me know if you got it. Did anybody get a live notification?
Yeah, it says
Yep.
at the top.
Ah, thank you.
Okay.
That was what I was verifying. All right. And we're recording here. We ready?
Yep.
On this episode of the Culture Smash Cast,
We got dinosaurs with original stars.
Whipna, Trouba Dog. Ooh, giblets.
And if you want to go to England, you better learn how to act.
that should have went last.
I have no idea what she said.
It was Simlish, bitch. If you played the
Simlish.
game, you would have known.
Oh,
Well,
even I played Simlish.
I'm not gonna make it on the show then.
Perfect. It's a Culture Smash Cast, episode 530 for July the 8th, 2020. I'm Stephen Lackey, editor of Culturesmash.tv. Nico?
Nicholas Qualls, contributor to Culturesmash.tv.
Yeah.
Tina Hamba, contributor to Culturesmash.tv.
Nathan?
Nathan Savino, contributor to Culturesmash.tv.
And Zach.
Zach Martin. Cat. Look at my cat. His name is Biscuits. He's the
Yeah.
sweetest.
Perfect. How's everybody doing?
Tired.
I'm all right.
Yeah, why are you tired, Nico?
Tina and I got a new puppy.
How's that going?
Pretty good so far. I mean, being a puppy, she has had a couple of accidents, but she's really smart. She's learning. She can now do sit.
Kind of. But yeah.
Well, yeah.
Good progress.
Oh, she's still
Yeah.
a baby.
Yeah, she's still a baby.
She's 8 weeks
but
old.
we've been able to leave her in our room overnight without putting her in the kennel. We leave the kennel open. And she does great. She doesn't like tear up or destroy anything. So
Oh,
Yeah,
that's really
she
good.
wakes us up like once or twice, but not too bad.
yeah.
And like she's in there now sleeping, so we're blissfully happy for that.
My cat is like 8 years old, and she still wakes me up at night, so that's not going to change.
My cat's a good boy. He doesn't wake me up.
Yeah, that's because you're not the good boy in the relationship.
Exactly.
That's
Exactly.
not important. What's
It is.
important is that
I mean,
he's the
isn't
sweet.
Biscuits KJ's cat?
No, he's my cat. He sleeps with me. He snuggles with me. He comes to me. He allows me to hold him longer than
Why
her.
can't you switch?
Inside baseball. That is hilarious.
Well, I got the Apple TV.
I will say, I think she likes me more than Nico. She cuddles up with me more. So
I think that's the case, but Tina's also more affectionate than I am in general.
That'll do it.
That's not really surprising, but she is still pretty affectionate.
Oh yeah. If I tell her to go get daddy, she'll go straight to him.
She's cute. I've been looking at following Tina's puppy updates all week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She does have more followers than my book account, my Bookstagram.
That's hilarious.
And I've only been posting not even a full week.
Yeah, but it's animals. They have all the
Yeah,
following.
It works.
Mm-hmm.
People choose dogs over reading.
Does anybody that watches the video stream see how like Nico is like this the evil thing on my shoulder right here?
Nathan?
Show
You
You mean
mean?
Nathan?
Nathan, I mean, yeah.
Yeah,
Crush it,
Nathan's
crush it,
totally
Sid.
on your shoulder.
Yeah, crush it. So what's everybody been watching? Anything?
So I actually started watching Perry Mason.
How is that?
It's interesting. So I only vaguely know of Perry Mason. Like I know the basics of, oh yeah, it was this lawyer show, this old lawyer show that my grandpa used to watch. Like actual plot specifics or anything else of the show, I do not know. So it's kind of new territory, and it does not feel like this show was anything like what it probably was, because there's some, at least in the first episode, there is a pretty extreme sex scene that I doubt my grandpa watched.
All of a sudden, I'm going to watch the show now.
Hold on. What's the show?
Perry Mason.
Oh,
Yeah,
all right.
we got to watch this. So and I know we're kind of talking about TV, but I feel like what we're binging is kind of a fun thing to start with because of quarantine. We're like all home a lot extra.
Yeah.
My knowledge of Perry Mason, I know it's Raymond Burr, and I don't know the original show, but I remember being a little kid at my grandma's house seeing the reruns of like an 80s version.
Yeah, when That's the one I'm familiar with too. Is like when Raymond Burr was older and he came back and did that one.
But this show looks a lot more like action oriented to
It
me,
is.
like at least in the trailers.
He's also not a lawyer in this one. He definitely has law. They set up the seating for that in the first episode. I've only seen the first 2 so far.
Isn't he like a PI or something?
Yeah, he's a PI, but he definitely seems to have a law degree, or at least educated in law. And it's like, I'm guessing the show is going to lean him into leaving PI-dom and going into law for real. I'm guessing. I get the feeling that some of the characters that are in the show are also characters from the series, but I don't know who they are outside of Perry Mason. It is definitely a kind of dark murder mystery.
Yeah.
So that's kind of a weird thing. I'm not sure if I like it yet, but I'm intrigued.
Here's my question, because this is what will determine whether I actually even bother giving it a shot or not. And you've seen the first 2, so you should probably know. Maybe you know by now. Okay. Is it Bad Guy of the Week, or is it serialized?
Oh, it's serialized. It's not it's definitely an arc.
Okay, I'm in. I don't like Bad Guy of the Week. It just doesn't hold my attention. But if it's serialized, then I'm totally down to give it a go.
None of the episodes are self-contained so far, at least. It's only one mystery they're solving through the whole thing.
Cool. Anybody else watching anything new?
I've been rewatching Robot Chicken.
Okay.
And I also watched Contagion.
Yeah, finally.
For the first time because of COVID, and holy shit. This movie, when it came out, was probably a good little thriller. It is a horrifying movie now.
A taut, super intense horror movie that almost feels like a documentary.
It's pretty chilling.
Yeah, it's crazy how close. I mean, I remember when Soderbergh made that movie, they went even beyond what Nolan does, science-wise, to make sure.
Yeah, it's real accurate.
I mean, there were things in that movie, like R Naught, for example, which are so commonplace now that were like foreign language to me when the movie came out. It's something to watch.
I mean, especially when they start using the similar phrases and stuff like social distancing.
Yeah, Lawrence Fishburne does a press conference that says our best hope is to social distance. I'm like, oh, hello.
I mean, it rang really hard at those moments where it's like, holy shit.
I highly recommend to watch. I mean, I love Soderbergh, and I think it's one of his best movies.
It's a scary movie now, but, highly recommend. It's been a while since I've ever watched a movie, and then every 2 minutes I'm like, oh fuck.
So
every 2 minutes.
Yeah. So the funny thing about that movie is, I'm not like a physical media flipper really, but boy, I was tempted, because when all this stuff started, that movie was going for big bucks on the internet, because it's not out of print. It's just hard to find. But no, I like the movie too much, so I held on to it. As a great cast, as Gwyneth Paltrow, Matt Damon, Lawrence Fishburne, Kate Winslet, yeah, Jude Law. Jude Law is actually,
man, he's a prick of a character in that movie, but he's great.
It's so bad.
He plays the virus.
Nathan, what are you watching? What were we gonna say?
I watched Hamilton off Disney Plus.
Oh yeah, I watched that too.
Yep,
it was great.
I'm the only one in this chat that has not watched it, and I'm okay with that.
It was my third time seeing it, so.
It was my second time seeing it.
I hear if you like it, though, it's a good presentation.
It is.
I think it's really excellent to watch in terms of seeing it as a stage play brought into an actual video presentation of
it.
All they did is just record the stage play. It's not a separate acting of it. But the shots are really well done. They have very excellent close-ups. I would be curious to see what the shooting experience was like in the audience, seeing the cameramen around the stage.
The cameraman, the sequences where the camera was on stage was shot when the audience wasn't there.
Ah, okay. I didn't think there were.
Otherwise, they would have been in the middle of the play.
I didn't think there were that many sequences with the camera on the stage. I just figured that was zoom-ins, but I do know there was also. Okay, that's interesting to know too. I do know there's also a camera that's kind of hidden at the rear of the stage.
Yeah, and you can see that one.
It's some interesting shots and some overhead shots too. And the stage work itself is very excellent. The rotating wheel that's in the center of the stage. So watching all of that stuff is really fascinating. And plus, I like the play.
And then we also introduced Shadow to her namesake by having her watch Homeward Bound.
That's hilarious.
All right, now watch Zootopia next and see if she howls during that scene where they're howling.
She hasn't been very loud. Like, she only barks when she's stuck or something.
No, I'm just curious.
She's too little. She hasn't grown into her bark yet. She's too little.
She's
got a loud bark.
It is when she does it, it's loud. She barks when she's on the stairs because she can go up, but she can't go down.
That's hilarious.
Or if like the gates shut, because we have a baby gate up here now to keep her from falling down the stairs. If the gate's shut and she needs to get downstairs, like to get outside or water or whatever, she'll growl. You can always tell when she's about to bark because she'll go grr, 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 and then she'll bark.
It up.
That's cute.
So it's adorable.
That's cute.
But yeah, I thought Hamilton was fine. It still holds the same issues I had when I saw the play.
I can't have a clear opinion because I don't like musicals, and I'm fine with that.
I mean, watch 5 minutes of it, and if you're getting into it, keep watching. If you're not,
I've listened to a little bit of the music online, like on people's postings and stuff, and I hate the music, so
I'd recommend the subtitles because there are some really, really fast.
Bitch, you would recommend the subtitles to me?
Yeah, you got a big screen.
I know.
You got a big screen.
But the only thing I really am annoyed with Hamilton about right now is when I see people quote it like it's history on the internet. That really bothers me.
I do not like
dramatized history.
I do not like the fans of Hamilton.
Yeah.
The same way I don't like the fans of Rick and Morty.
I get
they
that.
Both ruin their
I was about to say, there's been a lot of fandoms that the fans have ruined it.
Hamilton the play is fine. The fandom is awful.
It happened with Firefly.
The worst part of any fandom.
It happened with Firefly at its height too. The fans were terrible.
It's one of the reasons I took forever to start Supernatural. I mean, you'd think that show would be right up my alley, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it is. But I refused to watch it because the fans were just so annoying.
I get that. Yep, I get that. Tina, did you have anything to add that you guys have watched?
Not really. I've been more focusing on the puppy and reading. So.
All right. Well, I'll transition us into actual movie talk then, because Nathan watched the last half of it with me. I just got from Shout Factory the special edition Candyman.
Ooh.
And I was excited to go through it and look at the bonus features. And if you're a fan of that movie, there's a lot. And it's cool how they have it broken up, because on disc 1 is the original theatrical cut of the film and all the old special features from earlier releases. Disc 2 is a new director's cut with a bunch of new bonus stuff. The director's cut is literally some squirts of blood. Because
it's the unrated one, right?
Yeah, because the problem was when they were first trying to release the film, they were pushing for, something harder than an R because of blood. And not because of the existence of blood, but based off what I saw in the bonus features, the squirting of the blood. So the blood squirts are back in.
I see here. There's a comparison online. It's more like it's one scene. It's literally the one kill in the movie that has gore, and it's like.
Well, no, there's substantial blood. There's substantial blood and guts in that film, and also a lot of shit. By the way, it holds up. It's good.
I don't remember it being that violent.
Oh my gosh, dude! There is so much blood in that movie, and it's like, oh, of course, that's what's happening. There's a dog in the shot.
For our audio listeners, our puppy just woke up and went straight to Nico, and so he's holding her.
Yeah. So it holds up. The score is phenomenal.
The score is so good.
It's so effective in that movie.
It's so good with that movie.
Yep. And it's the stories about how they got Philip Glass onto the film were really good too, because he only did it because he was friends with the producer. He's like, oh, okay, I'll do that. Anyway, that's what I just most recently watched. I'm on season 9 of 24, so I'm finally about to be done with that.
How many
So
seasons is it? Is it
there
nine?
are technically 8 seasons, and season 9, the 8th season was in 2011, and then they came back in 2014 and did an abbreviated 9th season.
Oh, is that the new guy?
No, that one's called, that was a different show. It's called 24 something. It's a different, it's the different guy. But this one is like a 10 episode sort of way to tie up the Bauer story a little bit more. But then they did a TV movie too, which I'll probably watch that too. I don't know that I'll watch the show with the other guy. It only ran 1 or 2 seasons, and I didn't like it when it came out, so I probably won't. But yeah, so I'm in season 9. I'm getting close to being finished and ready to start, I don't know, something else. Got plenty of time. Speaking of watching something else, I guess the teaser trailer for Halloween Kills was dropped, which is weird that it was dropped, and then almost simultaneously it came out that the movie's pushed all the way to next year.
Yeah, that was weird for me.
October 2021, yeah.
So
I was curious about why they even bothered to drop the trailer.
Well, I guess they wanted to get, like, we can't have it this year, but here's something at least.
What did you guys think of it?
So I haven't seen the new Halloween movie yet.
I hated it.
Spoilers!
I kind of know how it ends.
Yeah, that's
kinda know how it
exactly what
ends
Nico
now.
and I said. It's like, well, we know how the first one ends, so
Mhm.
Although that said, I think it's a really good teaser, especially if you watch that movie and you know how it ends. It's just pretty much like one shot, and it's Jamie Lee Curtis, and it's like, wow, okay, this is definitely teases the movie. That's an excellent job.
Well, I mean, since the end of the movie has been spoiled for you guys, like the teaser literally picks up with the last scene of the first film.
Yeah.
I don't know. I hated the first film. Like,
I don't know if I'd hate it, but it definitely, like, I feel like I could edit it down to like an hour.
okay, so here's the thing. Remember, Zach, you are probably softening to it, but when we all saw it, we had Nathan with us, and Nathan is the easiest to scare of all of us, and he was just sitting there, just chilling.
Yeah, what I'm saying is,
Because it wasn't scary.
I would
There was
edit
a
that
couple
movie
of it.
down to like 45 minutes where it's just Lori.
It was just too long. That's
Because
the
when
problem.
it's just Lori on the screen, it's good.
She's great, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
her character is
It's
good.
when they
She's
cut
well
away
acted.
to like the daughter character I don't care about, or
her
the
niece is great.
the niece I really don't care about.
The
Or
niece
the
and the niece's
family, or the
mom.
cops, or the like the Dr. Loomis that's crazy. I don't care about them.
Yeah.
I really don't. It's like bad.
Yeah, the Dr. Loomis character in particular was really terrible for me.
Turns
I
out
mean-
I'm insane. It's like, oh great.
I like that they went, with some sort of really inside baseball, and this isn't really a spoiler for you guys if you do eventually see it. It'll be something, Nico, that you'll appreciate looking for. But one of the things that always stands out to me, is Zach and I have talked about this at length between the two of us, is my favorite shot in the original Halloween is a simple shot of just the main characters walking up a sidewalk. That shot is beautiful. Every time I can see it in the big screen, I'm going to watch it. And Halloween was one of those movies, the first movies to use a Steadicam, like in the modern sense of Steadicam.
I mean, it was a Panaglide.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you're trying to be a little too
It was a
specific.
precursor to the Steadicam.
Okay.
Steadicam wasn't even around yet.
Okay, Zach. We'll save it for the film show.
Oh, okay.
But the point is, they try to mimic that shot and some other ones in this, not necessarily content-wise, but just the camera moves and things. And I appreciate that, because that's really something in there for people like us that are hardcore cinema people. But
I mean, even if people don't recognize it, they'll feel it.
Mhm.
You can feel some of those shots.
Here was the hard thing about the movie, was because there were so many after Halloween's H2O and Resurrection that came out, that it was hard to just forget about all those. And then
No, it's not.
No, it was. No,
I can forget about Resurrection.
Not
I'm
really
fine
when the film
forgetting about
itself even says no, that none of that happened. That was all
Yeah,
bullshit.
they said that, but after watching those other Halloweens, it was but Jamie Lee Curtis had a son, and da-da-da. That's what I grew up with.
Like,
Yeah, I mean,
Jamie Lee Curtis also had a daughter and then died in a car crash.
Yeah.
Nobody remembers Halloween 4 and 5, right?
Yeah. What's happening over there, Nico? Something's happening. It's probably.
Call.
Oh, my thing about that, I can sort of separate myself from that stuff, but the thing that from those films that I have trouble separating is the certain sort of cliched type of kills and camera, like actions with jump scares and stuff like that. We've seen it so many times in all the other films that this film, the first Halloween, just felt like a redo, but not scary. It didn't feel fresh. So I don't know. I guess the teaser was pretty good. I guess it was all right. Zach, you said you liked it, right?
I mean, most teasers nowadays are
they're basically
less
trailers.
than what we got.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, usually it's well, they break out the JPEGs and it's a title and music and maybe you get an audio line. So the fact that it's like, here's some meat, on the bone for this teaser, at least. I mean, you're gonna have to wait over a year for it.
Yeah.
But that said, it's also it does an excellent job teasing. It's a very self-contained small bit. It's not showing too much anything of the plot really. It's just like, hey, here's a scene that shows that yes, there's a sequel to this movie you just saw, and that's it. That's all you get.
It doesn't reveal anything.
You guys might be convincing me. You might be convincing me. I just didn't like the first one so much. And Zach also lost his mind in the first one when somebody got their cell phone dumped in a punch bowl.
That is so awful.
He got so mad.
So awful.
But
hey, my phone's waterproof. Oh,
I mean,
well, I guess it's ruined.
People I liked were Jamie Lee Curtis and with the girl that played her niece.
I don't remember the girl that played the niece, and I don't know. Maybe that's. I don't know if that's a positive or a negative because I do remember the niece's mother, and I remembered hating her.
Maybe we should rewatch it.
No, we're gonna definitely
rewatch it
rewatch
with like a fast forward button.
No, we're definitely gonna. I want to rewatch it, especially before we see the second one, just because I want to go in with different set of eyes and just see if I can like it better. Because the people behind it really do love it, and they tried to do something with passion.
We can skip through that scene where they're arguing about brownies and sandwiches.
Oh my God!
We can add it to our personal 12-hour terrors list.
Personal 12 hours of terror. Yeah.
I guess that's something that we may end up having to do is on our own 12 hours of terror.
Maybe there will be a 12 hours of terror. It's happening. I need it. Okay.
We might have to do it through Twitch.
That's fine.
We might have to do it through Twitch. But I guess you guys are right in the fact that the one thing that I really liked about the first Halloween was Jamie Lee Curtis, and they just focused on her.
Yeah.
So that's cool. All right, let's talk about some movie stuff.
Oh my gosh. Well,
oh my God.
It turns out the third film in the Tron franchise is Boy, It Won't Stay Dead. It's back again in development. Tron 3 will reportedly star Jared Leto. I'm out.
Yep.
I'm out. Jared Leto.
Good.
Oh, whoops.
Yeah, no.
Oh, great.
And if you've seen the images for it, he looks bad.
I haven't seen
Granted, he always looks bad.
I didn't think that was an actual image for Tron.
No, they haven't even filmed Tron. It's in development.
Yeah.
Like pre-production.
It's just Jared Leto looks bad. That's all it is.
Maybe it's a tweaked.
Him.
Maybe it's a tweaked JPEG from Morbius.
So essentially, as is typical, the first and second film in 2010 both received mixed reviews outside of being hailed for its visual effects. There have been talks about making a third Tron film for like a decade, originally called Tron Ascension. The main cast of Legacy was set to return, except Tron Legacy didn't really make a lot of money because it really wasn't that good, until it was scrapped in 2015. There were rumors that a new Tron 3 script, serving as a reboot, of the series, was in development, starring Jared Leto back in 2017, but Disney has confirmed nothing. So really, Jared Leto might or might not be in this. Who knows?
What was the best scene in Tron Legacy?
The score by Daft Punk.
No, that's not the scene. But that is the best.
I'm saying take all those scenes. That's a scene.
No, that's the music, and the music was better than the entire movie. But
Okay, the best
we all
scene
came
was
out.
the Disney logo in 3D.
That was the best scene. That was the best scene.
It was so good. They showed it at the end again. It was so good.
Yep.
I mean,
Yep.
outside of that, if I have to choose a scene from the movie that was good, the games sequences.
I mean,
Yeah,
The movie blew its load.
Yeah.
The movie straight up blew its load in the first 40 minutes. And then it was like, well, now I got to sit in this puddle of cum, and I don't know what to do.
that's disgusting.
Yeah, that's
So for the rest of the film, nothing was as good as those sequences.
Mm.
that movie
Dumpster.
really had a sluggish middle too. Like there was that movie was way longer than it needed to be, and it just meandered in its.
The digital effects were not
Visual
ready. The de-aging was just not ready for prime time.
Yeah, the de-aging was
Yeah.
terrible.
I think that's also true as well.
And then why did we have the dude in the movie?
Yeah,
Well,
I wish Jeff Daniels. I probably wouldn't have had as much of a problem
Jeff
with
Bridges.
Jeff Daniels is
Bridges.
in this? Awesome.
Thank you. God, I probably would have had the issue with the de-aging of Jeff Bridges as much if the present day, the regular age Jeff Bridges wasn't just the dude.
Yeah,
Well,
exactly.
That's what he comes. Yeah, that's what he came off as. So it was an. I don't know. I wanted to like it so much.
I tell you what, if they get Daft Punk to come back and do the score again, I'll go.
I think the other thing that was weird about Tron Legacy, which I don't think a lot of people watching it really cared about as much, but Tron isn't really in it. Tron's a character. Like the name Tron is a character in the movie.
I mean, Mad Max doesn't really talk in Mad Max Fury
But he's
Road.
in it the whole
He
time.
is in it. Yeah.
I mean, technically, Tron's in the movie the whole time. It's just brainwashed.
Oh no, it's Cole. He's called Rinsler.
Yeah.
It's great. And
But-
then I'm like, who's Rinsler? I don't care about this guy.
Yes, you do.
No, I really don't.
You know,
He
and this
doesn't
is-
become Tron again. He becomes Tron for like 10 seconds.
Yeah, when he's like in the water or something, it's like, I fight for the user. And that's the most anything in that movie to get anyone pumped up. It's like, oh wait, shit, that's Tron. And then that doesn't really do much. It's not like Tron comes back at the end and fights with the Sam character. And it's like, all right, back to back, let's go. Tron's here, let's do this.
Keep going, yo. I'm putting the live stuff out there. I was just gonna say this is one of those times where like Zach, you like, you know, like just gave a negative reaction to the idea that the script for this new one is a reboot, but this is a situation where I'm kind of okay with it because the other movies were not well done. I mean, they had moments, like you said, but they weren't well done. So
Tron is a classic that is flawed. Tron Legacy is a good 40-minute movie.
So here's my question on reboot. Is it an actual reboot? It's Tron redone, or is it we're just going to do a new story in the Tron universe?
Is it going to be another one of those like the Halloween we were just talking about, where it's a sequel to the first one, but it forgets the others?
Or or is it that one? Or is it just a side story? It's like
how do you do that? I mean, you have to. I mean, somebody else is going to have to find that stupid computer in Flynn's arcade and know how to turn it on and every. I mean,
now they'll Jumanji it and put it in a game console.
I mean, it's just
in a smartphone now.
Exactly.
I mean, I don't know how to continue this outside of.
Someone will take a shot on their cell phone and it zaps them into Tron.
Perfect. And then the phone drops in a punch bowl, and Zach loses his mind.
No, I don't mind if it drops in the punch bowl. Now, if it drops in a punch bowl and they're like, "Oh, we can't use it; it's ruined," going to be pretty upset.
I wanted to see another Tron movie done well until Jared Leto's name got attached to it, though. I don't understand who likes Jared Leto. How does he keep getting all this work?
Yeah, who's the person that just keeps greenlighting that guy?
It's all about sucking dick.
Do you think that he's like?
Wait. Is Nathan saying that he's all about sucking dick, or that Jared Leto's all about sucking dick?
I feel like Jared Leto is sucking dick.
Okay.
I mean, after Joker, Suicide Squad.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't want to see this guy in anything else. That performance was like career-ending.
I mean,
Tommy Wiseau gives a better performance in The Room.
So I understand that he was good in the Matthew McConaughey movie. Yeah, I haven't seen it. I understand he's good in that.
Yeah, he's good in that, but I mean, that was 9 years ago.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what have you done for me lately?
And he's also not the main character. He's not holding the movie.
Mm-hmm. Because this is just another one that looks bad. Because Morbius looks awful. It looks awful.
I avoided that trailer for so long, and then we're at the drive-in, and they played that trailer, and I turned to you, and I was like, "That looks horrifyingly bad."
And I'm just shaking my head, going, "Yeah, I've seen this 50 times."
It looks so awful.
They've been showing that trailer for a year. It feels like.
I guess that's the one plus side of COVID is like we don't have to see crappy trailers over and over again at theaters.
Oh god,
dude! I'll be honest with you.
I miss crappy trailers.
At this point, I miss trailers.
You know.
That's why we're like Halloween Kills teaser. Oh man, it looks so good. It's something.
I'm so excited. The bar is so low right now. I'm just stepping over it.
I just realized that's why we're getting all these progressive commercials.
Exactly.
There's no trailers.
Progressive is actually nailing it in the Zoom commercial space, though. They own that space for commercials. All right, so what's up next? What do we got?
We got dinosaurs.
Do we?
Yes.
No, we don't. Somebody jumped a story.
How did I jump a story? Oh, no, I didn't.
Yeah.
He's just overzealous.
We don't got dinosaurs.
No dinosaurs for you.
Next up, if you want to go let's do dinosaurs.
Okay, let's do dinosaurs while he takes a work call.
We got dinosaurs. All right, so
It was right all along.
Oh, wait, real quick. Guess who is in the chat room? Dwayne Pate is in the chat room, and he says Tron 3 awesome. Who's in it? Jared Leto, I'm good. That is his comment. He's great in Fight Club.
Fight Club was 21 years ago.
He gets the poop beat out of him. Okay, well, that is a good... I would watch that. I would watch Jared Leto get his ass whipped. Be fine with that. All right, back to dinosaurs.
All right, we got dinosaurs.
And then Nico comes back. He's like, "Okay, guys, I'm ready."
Well, we got dinosaurs. So Jurassic
Dino
World
DNA
is set to come out next year in June. And it is rumored that original cast members Sam Neill, Laura Dern, and Jeff Goldblum will be making appearances again. Fans were quick to point out that Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, Jeff Goldblum was set to return, and they were just disappointed because it was a cameo appearance.
It was stupid.
But Sam Neill is here to help. He played Dr. Alan Grant in Jurassic Park and Jurassic Park 3 and has gone on record in saying him and his park co-stars, Laura Dern and Jeff Goldblum, will be popping up all the way through the film. Yes, and this was
popping
also,
up.
Yeah,
they get a Skype call every now and then.
The popping up part does kind of scare me a little bit. It's like, does that mean they're going to have a role, or is it going to be something like that? Do we call them once in a while when there's a dino trouble?
Director Colin Trevorrow announced that Laura Dern would be reprising her role as Dr. Ellie Sattler. The filmmaker flat out said that Dern would be playing a major role.
Okay, good.
Not
that
a
helps.
cameo.
All right. That helps.
Wait, Trevorrow is still attached to this?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord.
Is Phil Tippett still attached?
I wish.
I think he's pretty invested in some sort of producer level, given the first...
He wrote the sequel.
So I have not liked the new movies that much.
Dude, I hated Jurassic World.
There were aspects of each one that I liked. Like the newest one, I kind of liked it until they left the island. I was okay.
Yeah, that first half when it was just like we have to go save the dinosaurs, we're back here. I felt like a better version of Lost World at that point.
Yeah. And then they left the island and we got this human.
The most emotional scene was when they left the island.
Yes.
And then Littlefoot died.
Yeah. I was there bawling. This is one of my favorite franchises.
I will say, Nico and I were in the theater crying when they did that. That was a
so sad.
And all you saw was his long neck.
Is that your dinosaur?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Wow.
So I hated Jurassic World. I'm done with the series. It's over for me.
Jurassic World had moments that I really enjoyed action-wise, but some of the plot, the plot.
Yeah, we're gonna weaponize dinosaurs. That sounds like a great idea.
My girl
Blue is
Blue
the
coming
baddest
back.
bitch out there. You need to stop.
Blue coming back.
Right? There it is.
I just don't get this obsession with like Blue and like Chris Pratt. I don't get it because his character is garbage.
Well,
it's like you and Biscuits.
Okay, so Chris Pratt's character,
Biscuits won't rip your neck off.
I did not feel that Chris Pratt's character was garbage until the end of the last movie, when he went from being this quirky, kind of bumbling, funny guy that he is to Star-Lord, doing flips and kicking ass karate style at the end of the movie. It made no sense to me story-wise, and I hope they take that away from him for the new movie. I don't want to see that anymore. That's not what his character is. His character's a dinosaur trainer, not a kung fu martial artist.
Well, keep in mind though, like before he was working with the Velociraptors, he was a Navy SEAL, or
but to that level of badassery, though.
Well, and I feel like they should also emphasize that to a better
they should. But I'm saying, like,
if
there
they want to
is
go in
a
that
little cause for it that they addressed in the first movie. They just haven't addressed it since.
Yeah. Well, and maybe that's part of it because I didn't know it till you said it.
Well, maybe you should.
Yeah, like I said, it's like it's a very like quick mention, so they don't really go into. He doesn't also come across as a hardened military vet.
Yeah,
so it makes you
like that at all.
It makes you reconsider. Okay, so if he's a badass military guy who just trains dinosaurs now, it makes you reconsider the two movies he's in and wonder: are there times he could have been way more badass and saved the day, but instead ran for the joke? His character isn't consistent with that. You can say he's like a Navy SEAL or whatever, but he hasn't portrayed that until the last 30 minutes of the last movie. Before that, he's just been a bumbling funny guy.
His character to Bryce Dallas Howard's character. For me, she is just a Lego block.
Well, she went from like lab badass running in heels to a tree hugger.
Outrunning a T-Rex clocked at 35 miles per hour.
Okay, so here's my only thing about that. And I remember when it was a big, big deal. Oh my God, why is she running? She's running in heels. But nobody talks about Gwyneth Paltrow in the first Iron Man movie when she's running in those hot fucking shoes that she's wearing. No, I mean, who cares?
Why? Because there isn't a direct shot close-up of her heels.
There is, because I can see it. I'm like, those are hot.
Okay, what was she outrunning?
Women
giant robot.
A giant robot. Is it clocked at 34 miles an hour?
Well,
if it's a giant Iron Man,
they clocked the T-Rex at 32.
Yes, that's true.
And for the record,
I mean, my point is that's some minutia that we could get past if she was better.
Trying to say a point.
I know.
Go ahead.
Women can do a lot of things in heels. I've even seen drag queens run and do flips and backflips and tucks in heels.
Now, I will say they did, because a lot of people were like, that's just not feasible, blah, 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 blah. They did do a kind of like a Mythbusters where granted, it was an Olympian athlete female who was running, and she got up to like 45 miles an hour in heels.
So, but the question I had about that, looking back on it now, is you can say, okay, that's not feasible, but are creating dinosaurs, is that feasible? Because, I mean, it's stupid to... I think if the movie...
That is so feasible.
We'd have created them already. We'd have made them.
No. You don't know what we have out there. Look what the fucking government's covered up so far.
Conspiracy theorists back here. Here we go. Here we go.
Okay.
Rewind. Get off the conspiracy theory bandwagon.
Here's what I want to say.
He's the fastest one in the world. Can run 27 miles an hour.
Okay.
Bolt.
All right. Okay.
So to kind of sort of wrap things up more, I'm going to wrap it up for me more in Nathan's direction, only because it is a nostalgia bomb to bring back Laura Dern and Sam Neill and Jeff Goldblum, all three of them. And I'm going to say it right now. I want to see that. I'll watch it.
Yeah.
I want to see the kids.
Yeah.
I would see that too.
I want to see the kids.
I feel like that would be like some hidden thing that they're going to pop in. There'll be cameos, though.
I mean, they already did pop back in.
They did.
in the sequel.
Oh,
In
in
Lost
2.
World.
Yeah, but we're talking
Yeah.
about now. So
Yeah, we're
talking
talking about that when
I
they were
want them
adults.
grown up.
I mean,
Like-
they were in the Social Network, or the boy was.
yeah.
Yeah, it
Um,
was.
I have low expectations because Colin Trevorrow, but
Did anyone see Book of Henry? Did anyone see that?
I didn't.
Holy
No.
shit! We gotta have a movie night, and we're
anyone
we're
care?
getting booze.
I got booze, baby.
It is shockingly,
We're good.
offensively bad.
I
Rumor
haven't-
says that's why he lost the job on Star Wars. Though I would
Hmm.
like to say I think it's because he saw the writing on the wall.
Yeah, probably so. I don't know. So I'm cautiously optimistic. I want it to be good. I hope it's good. I like the actors.
I want
Well-
a good Jurassic Park movie, but I have no hope left.
They're
We'll
all amazing
hopefully
to me,
find
so
out
y'all-
June 11th, 2021.
You know, the same month that everything else is going to come out.
Yep.
It's gonna be
everything.
Boy, those Regal subscriptions are gonna pay for themselves.
Mm.
They already do,
It's-
so it's
I'm
gonna be
telling
great, though.
you, right? All right, who's got the next one? Oh,
right.
now.
It's
now.
Nico back to
Now we're back
back.
to Nico. Yeah. Nico
If you
double
wanna-
shot.
Oh God, it is. All right, first up, if you want to go to England for any reason, you should become an actor because the UK government is exempting some leading US actors, such as Tom Cruise and also film production crew, from its 14-day travel quarantine so that Hollywood blockbusters can resume production. The move follows a conversation between Culture Secretary Oliver Dowden and Tom Cruise last week when they were talking about restarting filming on Mission Impossible 7, which is shot at a Warner Brothers studio near London. Mission Impossible 7 closed down production in late February. Technically, it's 7 and 8. The two films are being shot back to back. The British government had published a list of countries whose citizens could enter England without going through a quarantine for 14 days. U.S. is not on that list. That's why we have an exemption for cast and crew coming to England employed on film and television productions that qualify as British, according to the British Film Institute classification. So I guess Mission Impossible is British now? Those who are exempted will have to live in and work in a protected bubble environment for 2 weeks. They'll have to follow guidance on managing risk of COVID-19, and they will have to carry letters from the studio responsible for production, including some basic information, and a certificate number from the Department of Digital Culture, Media, and Sport to prove that their production qualifies. Adrian Wooten, chief executive of the British Film Commission, said that the film and high-end TV investment sector is worth over £3 billion or $3.75 billion as of, in 2019. So obviously they want to keep getting that money in as they try to recover from the lockdown.
So if we want to go to England, we have to get a job on Mission Impossible.
Yes.
Yes.
Perfect, no problem.
Its initials are
Come on.
MI. So
That's true.
Yeah.
I guess I get it. They just want that money.
Same.
And I, in the
I
end, I'm
want
like,
that Mission Impossible money.
I was
too.
gonna say, I want that Mission Impossible. I want that movie. So okay, let them work. Let them work. I mean, Tom Cruise apparently is immune to everything anyway. I mean,
That's
Except
what
for crazy.
Scientology does.
is it?
Yeah.
Because the dude is like 60 years old and he looks like he's 45.
Like he's a robot at this point.
That's true. I think that might be it. It might be a Stepford husband. All right, so let's talk about some TV.
All right.
Nobody got any comments here.
All right.
Let me just glance at the chat room really quick because we have some people in here. Nikki is in here, and she's laughing at Nathan's face because he's getting wound up.
That's
Oh, yeah.
And Dwayne says a better version of Lost World isn't hard to do. Dwayne also says when I think of Navy SEALs, I think of Kung Fu Flips.
When I think of Navy SEAls, I think of Emilio Estevez.
Do you? Except
think
it's
of
not
Navy
Emilio
SEAls?
Estevez.
It's not?
No, it's the other one. It's the 2.5 Men guy. It's him.
Oh, Charlie Sheen.
It's Charlie
that's it.
Sheen, bitch.
Damn it.
You
When
blew
I think
it.
of Navy
You-
SEAls,
But-
I think of the picture of like the Navy SEAls going for training in the water, and then the little baby SEAls following them. That's what I do.
Nikki says the kids from Jurassic Park have PTSD.
I would too.
Yeah.
I would assume anyone who was in that first movie should rightfully have PTSD.
And Dwayne says he hopes that Hammond covered their therapy bills.
Yeah.
Spare
Yeah.
Dwayne says to Zach in particular, we have a good Jurassic Park movie. It's called Jurassic Park. When Zach said, I just want a good Jurassic Park movie.
Okay. I think.
Now Dwayne is yelling USA, USA.
Oh, yeah. Okay, we can start with Dwayne. I think we all agree that Jurassic Park is a good movie. I think the point is we want another good Jurassic Park movie.
It's going to be such a great action adventure.
Okay, that's what you say.
All right.
Nikki says that Nathan is adorable.
Thanks, Nikki.
Thank you for lying to him, Nikki.
Yeah, he needs all the help he can get. It's good. I got booze. I'm good.
I love you, Nathan.
I'm with some elitist bitches.
I mean,
okay.
we all are elitist. That's
true. That's
show.
I have a bitch
We're
in the
just speaking
bedroom if you
truth.
want to see her.
I got one out here probably.
Why?
I got one out here probably shitting in the hallway right now, as we speak. All right, next story.
All right, I'm
Moving
back.
to TV.
Back now in TV, the now 20-year-old hit game franchise The Sims is getting a reality TV show a la Project Runway-esque, in which 12 contestants are going to vie for a $100,000 grand prize. Tina, pay attention. The Sims Sparked, being the name of the show, will be a 4-episode
Terrible
series.
name, by the way.
It is awful. Featuring challenges inside the game and will launch on July 17th on TBS under its Turner Sports E-League brand for esports and gaming, and then following soon thereafter on BuzzFeed's multiplayer brand, which covers gaming, cosplay, culture. The 4 episodes will pit members of the Sims online community against each other within the simulation game, racing against time to fill out challenges to impress a 3-judge panel. 12 contestants, each specializing in one of the 3 supposed elements of The Sims 4 gameplay: character design, home building, and story, which I didn't think there would be much of one, but okay. EA apparently shot the footage for The Sims Spark in late 2019, so it missed out on all the COVID pandemic. Both Turner Sports and BuzzFeed are hoping that the Sims fan base will drive views to their respective platforms. Last month, EA said that The Sims 4, the current iteration of The Sims, hit a peak high of nearly 10 million unique monthly players in the past quarter, with 2.5 million joining in the previous 2 months. Like, people are at home and have nothing better to do right now.
Wait, what?
Also tying into the show, EA is going to launch in-game challenges in The Sims 4 called Sparked Challenge program, in which top creators can win a chance to be considered for a future season if the show lasts.
This sounds terrible.
Yeah, this sounds like an awful idea.
It sounds like TV.
So, yes, it is definitely my show, especially considering one of the judges is one of the people I watch when I want to watch like sim challenges, named Kelsey Mpitchy. I cannot say her last name. I can't say it.
Have you
So
tried?
she's like a Sims player, right?
Yeah, she's a Sims player. She's most well known for her 100 Baby Challenge and for her Black Widow Challenge, which I tried to do the Black Widow Challenge, and that is hard. So it's a 100 Baby one.
What
Basically, so when Nico said I wouldn't think there'd be much about stories, this is where the story aspect comes in.
Oh,
So
Lord.
there's certain challenges, like, for example, the 100 Baby Challenge. You have to have 100 babies. You have to have your female sim start out young adult. She has to have 100 babies within her lifespan. It has to be a normal lifespan because you can make it an epic lifespan or whatever. But it has to be a normal lifespan. And you have to raise them until they are adults to where they can leave the house. It gets really difficult because you can only have 8 Sims in a household at a time. The Black Widow one is you have to woo a male companion, marry him, have him move in, have him catch you cheating, murder him, and inherit his fortune, and then marry the guy you cheated on him with. And then
Oh my God, that's a lot.
Yeah, start that cycle all over again. I got to like You have to do that 12 times, I think. I got to number 10 before I was like, I can't do it anymore. And you have to have a different way to kill them.
You are a sick person.
Right? I played The Sims, and I didn't even know this kind of stuff exists, but I have not played in like a lot of years.
I have over 1,000 hours dedicated to just The Sims 4. This isn't even counting The Sims 3.
Oh, Lord.
So, and I have all the expansions for The Sims 4. So I'm a little bit obsessed with The Sims.
A little bit. Well, then you're going to be all about this show.
Absolutely.
You could tell there's a global pandemic if you just look at network TV and see literally how many game shows there are on TV right now.
Netflix has so many.
It's hilarious.
There's one like Don't Touch the Lava.
And they're so
Floor is
bad.
lava. Yeah.
They're so terrible. And I don't. This is not the first game show, like video game based show that I've seen though. There was one on the PlayStation. Do you guys remember when the PlayStation tried to have their own TV network?
Yeah.
They had their own show on there that was pretty bad, and it was half the real world, half playing video game challenges, and it was terrible too. Did I watch the whole thing? Yeah, kind of did, because I like video games. So I don't know. I'll probably drink and watch the first episode of this. Maybe
I'm absolutely gonna watch.
I'm gonna text you. I'll text you, Tina, while we watch it together. Except I'm gonna drink.
It's like the only reason I wouldn't compete is because I'm pretty sure they would not be inclined to forgive using cheat codes, which is what I mostly use because I'm not patient at all. So.
No. Well, it's better than like I don't know, pay to play kind of crap that we do now on phones.
There's no in-app purchases.
Right. I don't know. This sounds really, really terrible.
That was not the first thing I thought of when I heard pay to play.
Of course it wasn't. Of course.
Like, wait a minute.
Of course it wasn't. All right. Who's got the next one?
Well, speaking of playing, it's been a follow-up nearly a decade in the making, but the sequel novel to Ready Player One is almost here. Ready Player 2 will be published November 24th, 2020, Random House announced. Ernest Cline's original book came out in 2011.
I'm sorry. Dwayne just said the floor is lava. How is that a real thing?
It is literally like
it's an obstacle course game show that's on Netflix.
Think of like Wipeout or American Ninja Warrior or whatever. It's
Oh, I see. He's saying also he would watch more shows like 1 versus 100 hosted online. I don't know. I guess. All right, continue.
Sorry,
This is an interesting story. Yeah, go ahead.
Ernest Cline's original book came out in 2011 and proved to be a blockbuster sensation, taking readers into a dystopian future where citizens escape into a 1980s pop culture drenched virtual reality called The Oasis. Director Steven Spielberg adapted Ready Player One as a movie in 2018 that starred Ty Sheridan, Olivia Cook, Ben Mendelsohn, Lena Waithe, TJ Miller, Simon Pegg, and Mark Rylance. You can now pre-order Ready Player 2. Again, it will come out November 24th of 2020.
So that was a book that literally all of us were reading, that first one.
Yeah.
I
don't know if I want this.
I will say I was not a fan of the movie.
I like aspects of the movie. I have it. I think it's someone asked earlier in one of my movie groups, what is a movie you can put on just for the visuals and do stuff? And that's the one, because there's so many great
I will say I
animation
loved
scenes
when the RX-78 Gundam came out.
Gundam shot was really good.
That was fun, but
I liked the Shining bit.
The Shining bit is the standout of the whole movie.
Yeah, it was just so incredibly well done. I could take or leave the rest of the movie. But
I love the opening race. The opening race I really enjoy.
Got a really good audio mix. So
I was going to say, if you watch it here at my house with the Atmos cranked, it'll change your mind. Because it's beautiful. The problem I have is looking back on Ready Player One. I've read it twice. I still
that second read through pissed me off.
Well, it didn't make me mad, but I started to realize it's a lot less of a story and more about just
reference.
It's like Kevin Smith at his worst. Let me just reference a bunch of video games, which, okay, I still enjoy it, But the thing that bothers me is the follow-up book that he wrote, that Armada.
Oh, it's bad.
It's that
awful,
worse. It's
awful.
Yeah.
Awful.
I see. I had that feeling that Zach has, but with Armada. Reading Armada made me see the problems more so with Ready Player One, because it's like, oh, this guy's a one-trick pony, and that trick is played out.
Yeah, because Armada, I mean, he literally just retold us The Last Starfighter.
Yeah,
I mean, it's just so it doesn't. It's like his stories can't have a life of their own.
Well, the thing that really annoyed me the most about Armada isn't just it's the same thing. It's like, is The Last Starfighter with video gaming references, just like Ready Player One is Charlie and the Chocolate Factory with video gaming references. It's the same general concept of he's taking an existing property and just hammering 80s and 90s references down our throats. It's that it also discusses The Last Starfighter.
Right?
It's like, at least Ready Player One doesn't bring up the fact, it's like, oh yeah, it's like Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. It's like, oh my God.
Wayne says in the chat room he wishes we had gotten Edgar Wright's version of the film.
Yes.
I would be inclined to agree with that, even though
I do think Spielberg did a really good job. I think it's not even something that I would have pegged in his wheelhouse. And I think he did really good with it.
My only problem is I feel like he shied away from some things that...
Well, he shied away from his own parts that were in the book that could have amplified.
Well, not even that. I mean, I feel like, you know, the I forget her name, the girlfriend, the female lead.
Oh my God, her scar was awful.
Like this, yeah. I feel like she didn't look as interesting and like normal as she should have. She was cute girl Hollywood too much and not normal person enough for me.
She should have been chubby, like in the book.
Exactly.
Because that's the great thing about the book is these are just everyday people. They're not Hollywood. I mean, Wade is fat at the beginning of it, and the only reason he loses weight is because he literally starves himself because he's addicted to this thing.
So yeah, I feel like it was a little bit sort of Hollywoodized too much in that way, but I don't like. I want to be excited for this book, but I feel like Ready Player One over age just has not held up.
Yeah, I'm done with the franchise, and so I don't feel a need unless
honestly the main sequel that I'm looking forward to as far as books that would be the closest to this would be Hank Green's sequel to An Absolutely Remarkable Thing, because at least that is well put together and it's not shoving stuff that I see every day down my throat. Like I'm a 90s kid. I know my 90s and 80s references. I don't need to see that and be like, here you go, here you go, here you go. So
well, I mean that sort of gimmick I enjoyed the way it was used. It's just I feel like there wasn't enough meat on the bone outside of it to make it something that I want to visit over and over again.
It's used every once in a while, but it was like every 10 seconds, and it's like.
Well, but that's because, to Steven's point, there's no meat on the bone, so they had to fill that content with something else. So it was just all references.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Lazy. It's so lazy.
I don't know where the story can really go. The world is screwed.
Yeah, I don't understand what the sequel will be about. They win at the end.
Yeah, it's over.
They win. I guess lose. It's over.
Unless Wade like restarts it and like it's just a redo of the same thing.
It's
over
their
again.
pregnancy announcement.
Oh,
right. Dwayne said everyone is so pretty in that movie.
Yeah.
So pretty. That's the way he typed it.
People look in my head.
That's the way he typed it.
Okay.
But
so
yeah. So I mean, it's funny. God.
The defeatist sigh in your voice.
I remember how excited we all were for the book because it was supposed to be something for our people, but it doesn't hold up like it should have. So yeah. So I don't know. I don't know if I even care about the sequel. No. I'll read it. I put it this way: I will read it if I hear wonderful things. If I hear from trusted people that it's really good. Yeah, then I'll dive in. But I'm not just gonna pre-order it. That's for sure. Right. If you would like to look at something on physical media, I just had my computer scrolled away from it. We've got a few Blu-rays this week. Trolls World Tour is out in every format imaginable. There's a Blu-ray, there's 4K, there's a 3D, there's a Best Buy exclusive Steelbook. Target has a Target exclusive Digibook. Walmart has a Walmart exclusive with a pop. I mean, this thing is everywhere, which is really funny to me, but since it came out so long ago in streaming, but it's like all over the place now. War of the Worlds is out. This is the original H.G. Wells film. Is that on Blue?
Yeah, Criterion.
Yep. The Day the Earth Caught Fire is out. Space Invaders, which is a really bad movie. Funny thing, I'm trying to remember. I think I saw that movie in the theater. It's bad. Inferno of Torture is also out from Arrow Video. That is an Asia Extreme kind of film. There's a lot of other like catalog stuff that I didn't really feel like was worth bringing up. What do we got into funny books?
In comics, we have Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Willow, #1 from Boom Studios. So if you are enjoying the new Buffy reboot that's been coming out from Boom, Willow's getting a spin-off title where she goes off and does her own thing for a bit. Marvel has a couple of interesting books. The Empire Summer event that they are doing, they kicked off with the Avengers tie-in a couple of weeks ago. Now it's the Fantastic Four tie-in, and those are the two main forces in the event. And then also we have a revisit of a very classic X-Men title, X-Men God Loves, Man Kills, Extended Cut, #1 of 2. So the God Loves, Man Kills series, the story, which is kind of somewhat of the basis of X-Men 2, the second X-Men movie. It was written by Chris Claremont back in the 80s, and they're doing an extended cut with some, I guess, new art that wasn't released in the final product. So I'm kind of curious on how
it's kind of amazing they still have that artwork.
Yeah, I'm thinking that too. Yeah.
That's cool. I'm going to have to take a look.
Yeah, I was wondering if maybe if Marvel had the art or if the artist Brent Anderson had the art and they just somehow reconnected and put that together.
That's pretty cool. So you will see his Nico's write-ups later tonight on the funny books with some cool cover art. Let's see. I had a few last comments in the chat room here. Let's see. Dwayne asks, can we get the 90s War of the Worlds TV series on DVD? I'm surprised that's not on DVD, to be honest with you. I remember that show. It was syndicated, I think. Seems like maybe it was like I saw it on PBS or something like that. Also, he asked the question, how many times have we had a movie end with the hero on top only to dial it back in a sequel? He said this is what happens in the sequels. So he thinks that Wade is going to get dialed back and has to do it again. Does anybody want to read that?
Yeah, I just...
You inherited $1 trillion billion. Whatever problem you have, you can solve it with money.
A hacker stole it, hacked into his accounts.
Okay, you have the best lawyers in the world that can prove it.
That'll be a brand new
case. That didn't work in Dark Knight Rises.
Yeah, it did. It would just take a while.
And he is also very excited for Trolls World Tour, apparently. Which, okay, good.
Yeah, it's just like we mentioned. There's not enough meat on the bones. There's not enough story. No one cares about the characters in Ready Player One. Mm-hmm. No one cares about Wade or Artemis or anybody else. It's just like, all right, let's move on from the franchise.
Yep. Alrighty. Let's see. Do we have anything else before we wrap this baby up?
No.
That was a very definitive no, because
he's like, let me get back to my puppy.
He's like, I want to go play with my puppy.
My puppy gotta take a walk.
Actually, she probably does.
So, Nico, where do we find you on the internet?
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram under Nico Scream, NIKOSCREAM.
Tina?
You can find me Cheddar Popper, CHEDRPOPPR on Instagram and Twitter. And look out for the Shadow Pupper, the.shadow.pupper on Instagram.
Nice. Nathan?
Find me on Instagram, Nate_R_70. And you can find me on Switch, Nate70471.
Zach?
You can find me on Instagram, I am Master of the Matrix 91, and you can find me on Steam and Discord as a dangerous mute lunatic. I have been recently playing Heavy Bullets, and last night I finally beat it. So, if nobody knows, Heavy Bullets
So much
is,
pride right
dude,
there.
3.4% of all players beat the game. I am up there. It's a hard game.
What cheat
Like,
code did you use?
none.
Right.
Like, I was tiptoeing my way through it, just trying not to die. I also had like 4 gold potions, so
Basically a cheat.
Cheat code.
Yeah.
it's an item in game that replenishes health.
Hmm.
Also,
I just
some of us have pet Instagram accounts. If you want to follow those too, you could follow Tina and ours new golden retriever at
I've already
the dot.
said that, honey.
Hey, where did he go?
Sorry, I missed the audio on that one.
Perfect.
You can also follow Biscuits the cat.
That
Right.
Yeah.
I think I have to start two. I have to start 2 Instagram accounts for Kaylee because she's such a chubber. She needs 2.
Dude, like I've only been posting for what since Friday, and started like over 100.
well,
people
you
following.
started it early because we had early photos.
Mhm.
No, not her Instagram.
You had the account already.
I had the account, but I didn't post anything.
All right. So you guys go follow it.
Yeah.
Shadow is very cute. And then you can play Dead by Daylight with me and Nathan on the Switch, and maybe one day with Zach.
Hopefully one day.
Maybe.
Hopefully tonight would be great.
It'll be like the
I can
Halloween
show y'all
movie
how it's
pushed to next
done.
October.
I can
So,
show you how it's
Other
done.
than that, hit me up Off the Shelf Movie Night on YouTube and all things Culturesmash. Let's bring this baby to an end. I guess we'll see everybody next week.
Bye, everybody.
Everybody.
I'm just saying,